Hello guys, LifeHackster here. Today I'll tell you 7 things that you need to know about wireless battery-powered outdoor security cameras. And this is for people trying to look into security cameras for their homes and also for the ones that already have battery-powered cameras like from Ring, Blink, Nest, Wise, Arlo's, Eufy, which they have a lot of models, Real and Tapo. And pretty sure there are a lot more that I haven't checked out. And for those that are new to this and just want a battery-powered wireless security camera for your home, make sure you watch all the way to the end to have an informed decision before purchasing one. This segment of security cameras, the battery-powered ones, are unknown 10 years ago. And currently, they are the most popular type of home security cameras being sold today. And this is because they are marketed as easy to set up and easy to install. Now, the installation part is partially true. Yes, you can install this anywhere around your home, but there are things that you need to know and do so that you'll get the most performance from these cameras. And we will talk about this and then a few more in this video. Okay, so first thing that you need to know is that battery-powered security cameras needs Wi-Fi connection. But there are very few other models that uses cellular LTE connection, but they do connect to the internet. And this is so that you can initially set them up and access the camera from your phone, view or download the recorded footage, and also send you motion notifications. So its performance is limited in what type of Wi-Fi setup and how strong the signal is, and also if there are any wireless interference you have at your home. After setting them up, cameras that have a built-in storage or records to a micro SD card inserted on the camera themselves will technically be able to still record even when Wi-Fi connection is lost. You'll just not be able to access the camera or get the notifications until the connection is restored. Some brands though uploads the recorded footage to the cloud like the Ring cameras. So when the Wi-Fi is out, they will not be able to upload the footage. Second thing to know, battery-powered cameras are not able to record 24/7. I know I do get a lot of comments and questions on this. Their batteries, even when hooked up to a solar panel, are not enough to continuously power the camera. There's one exception on this though. Reolink has the TrackMix LTE Plus, which is battery powered but also has this 66 watt big solar panel. But this is a unique one-of-a-kind system. And even with its setup, it is not guaranteed to continuously record 24/7. Third thing to know is that battery-powered security cameras uses a PIR sensor for motion detection. This sensor detects heat movement, and when this is triggered, it will turn the camera on to start recording. Now, PIR sensors has some limitations like limited detection range, which for humans around 30 feet, but most reliably around 20 to 25 foot range. Now, if you point the camera in the street where cars are passing by and which have a bigger heat signature, it can get triggered beyond 30 feet. Another limitation of a PIR sensor is that it is not as sensitive and will detect late when motion is going towards it. And this is why I do the toward the camera testing when I review battery-powered cameras. Also, where you install and how you position the camera has something to do with how it performs. They usually have a recommended height of install of around 7 to 10 feet, camera tilted down, and the sensor straight. You also don't want to position the camera facing the sun or face it in a vent or anything that generates heat, like your AC unit for example. And also you need to position the camera so that the motion is going across it as much as possible. Like if I install the camera where I usually test them, and if someone from our side yard enters and beelines to our back patio, it is more likely they will be only detected when they're pretty close to the camera. The better way is to install this in one corner and positioned in an angle so that the motion is going across it. Now, just because it is battery-powered camera, you think you can install it anywhere. But for the camera to work reliably, you have to follow these recommendations. The fourth thing to know is battery life. I've always said that battery life depends on the number of activations the camera gets, not just the recordings. Most, if not all cameras nowadays have AI detection and motion zones. So if you set the camera to detect people only, but you place the camera in your front yard where cars are also passing by, then the camera will get activated by the cars and will just not get the recordings. It is the same thing when you use motion zones. The camera still turns on and identifies if the motion is within your zones, and if not, there will be no notifications or recordings. But in this process, it also uses up battery life. So just because you only have a handful of recordings and the camera barely has any battery life left doesn't mean that the camera is faulty. What you can initially do when you install your camera is don't set motion zones or AI detection yet. Set it to all motion and crank up the sensitivity to the highest. Then wait on how many notifications and recordings you get. And if cars in the street are triggering the camera or you're getting a lot of alerts from swaying leaves, then dial down the motion sensitivity. But make sure you're still getting the recordings in the area you are monitoring. And if you have minimized the false alerts, then you can set the motion zones and the AI detection. Next, and the fifth thing that you need to know is that solar panels by themselves cannot power your camera. Solar panels just charge or continually tops off the batteries, and the battery is still the one powering up the camera. Now you need the sun to hit the panels at least 2 hours a day to be effective to charge or maintain the charge of the camera's battery. Even with this setup though, if you install the camera in an area where it gets a lot of activations, the solar panel might not be able to keep up, and you still need to manually charge the camera. But definitely less frequent than without a solar panel. The sixth thing that you need to know about battery-powered security cameras is that batteries and cold weather doesn't go well together. And this applies to all battery-powered devices. Battery life and also the camera's performance and reliability goes down when the temperature goes down. So if you live in a colder climate, it is better to invest in a wired camera system. Because aside from not having batteries, wired systems are always on, meaning their internal circuitry are constantly warm, so they can tolerate cold weather better. While with battery-powered cameras, they are normally off and cold until it gets triggered. And while we're talking about wired cameras, the seventh thing that you need to know is that wired or plug-in cameras are more reliable, perform better, longer detection range, and because it uses what the camera sees instead of a PIR motion sensor, it can detect 40 to 50 feet or even more, and usually they have faster notifications. Like wired or plug-in UV and Reolink cameras have faster notifications than their battery-powered models. Some can record 24/7 and are usually cheaper than battery-powered ones. They have camera-based detection and are always on, and if they don't record 24/7, they usually will have a buffer or pre-recording, meaning the recording will start a few seconds before motion has been detected, and they usually record longer than battery cameras, so you'll get the whole motion event. And also to clarify, especially with video doorbells, because battery-powered video doorbells can also be wired in, but this will only charge the doorbell's battery. I know brands will eventually release a real dual-powered video doorbell, but at this time of recording, nothing yet. When the instructions on your video doorbell states that you need to screw something on your existing doorbell chime, that means that doorbell is a true wired doorbell. Now with security cameras, there's only 3 brands that I know. I know the Arlo's, the Nest battery cams can be plugged in and they will function as wired. And also the new Ring Spotlight cams and stick-up cams. So if you get the battery version, you can purchase their power adapter and you can set up the camera as wired. And you will get the benefits of camera-based detection and pre-recording, plus longer detection range. And with the Nest and the Arlo's, you can even set it up to record 24/7. The only thing is that they upload to the cloud, which means you will need their highest tier subscription. With all that said, I'll show you my Eufy Cam 3, which is in my front garage area. And as you can see, it is installed more than 8 feet high in an angle and tilted down. And I have dialed down the sensitivity so it doesn't get triggered by cars passing by. But it's 100% reliable in detecting people in the motion zones that I set. And ever since I installed this after my review last September of 2022, I haven't charged it. Its built-in solar panel has been keeping the charge above 90% every time I checked it. So hopefully you learned something from this video and be able to set up and install your battery-powered security camera to get the most and the best performance and reliability. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.